Hi everyone, Bobby Tarantino here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review of the new Logic mixtape, Bobby Tarantino. Prolific Maryland rapper Logic, he's back with a new mixtape. For the past 6 years, he's been dropping project after project, now has 2 commercial releases under his belt. His last one was his most ambitious project yet, with a bit of a story concept set in space. Now Logic, he is a very popular and a beloved rapper right now, and I understand why. I see the hype. But there continues to be this misconception that I hate him, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. Like anybody who I don't give a 10, I must hate them and I must wish that they were dead. But anybody who I give them a 10 out of 10, that means I'm just dick riding them. Ugh, you just can't win. You can't win. Regardless though, Logic is a talented and a versatile rapper. One of the most notable things about his early tapes was just how many styles and shades of hip-hop music he would cover across the length of an entire project. However, some of these projects would leave me hanging a little bit because afterwards I wouldn't really come away from them not really knowing who Logic was as an artist, despite the fact that he consistently references his personal life and his career arc in his music. The problem is that he just doesn't really have a strong, distinct sound that when I hear it, I know I'm listening to a Logic song. And lately, especially with his commercial releases, he seems to be pulling so blatantly from his most popular contemporaries, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Drake. From his spitting, to his flow, to his production, and sometimes his hook in his songwriting. Logic's music is technically sound. It just doesn't really stand out to me though. And I feel kind of the same way with this new mixtape over here, but I do appreciate the angle that he's taking with this project. This thing is a very short, it's very lean, it's very punchy, it's a very to-the-point mixtape. It's not bogged down in filler tracks or bogged down in useless features. A lot of these tracks feature very sticky choruses and banger beats. It's pop rap, but it's not so trashy that you would get sick of it in 5 minutes. And I don't think what's going on here could be easily replaced by your average trap rapper. There isn't a massive concept bringing all of these tracks together, though I do presume that there might be something in the idea of reversing the track list on this project, given that the introduction of this project is mostly just like reversed dialogue, and then we have tracks like Slave 2 coming right before Slave 1. But maybe I'm making that up considering that listening to the mixtape backwards didn't really add anything different than listening to it forwards. Still though, there are at least a couple of cuts on here that sound like Logic still cannot keep his nose out of the Kendrick Lamar playbook, like the interlude cut Studio Ambience at Night Malibu, or the closing cut Deeper Than Money. Then there are some spacey, melodic, introspective cuts in the track listing here, songs like Slave and Slave 2 and 44 Bars, tracks where Logic really seems like he's trying to say something poignant, say something personal, which I think his hardcore fans will appreciate. There is a somewhat obnoxious skit on the tape that I didn't care for too much, though I do think it made a pretty decent point about fickle rap fans turning against him for going too slow or getting too big or selling out or whatever. But my favorite cuts in the track listing here, which I think are 2 of Logic's best so far, are just the catchy, succinct, concise bangers with good solid hooks. Songs like The Jam, which has this huge showy auto-tuned chorus, tons of braggadocious bars, and the song Wrist too, which is a super eerie, almost creepy banger, very grimy. Actually, some of the grimiest bars I've heard Logic ever drop, and this song actually features a great Pusha T verse 2. I thought this tape was okay. You know, it has its moments, but not really much for me personally because I'm not a huge Logic fan. You know, this to me reads more like a fan project, although hearing some of the details in the tape about Logic coming through with another concept album does excite me because, you know, maybe he'll come through with something even more impressive than his last record. But even if he comes through with a super detailed, super ambitious concept, again, if he doesn't finally on this record formulate a sound that is distinctly his, I see myself feeling somewhat indifferent to that project too. I'm feeling a strong 5 to a light 6 on this mixtape over here. Transition. Have you given this mixtape a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe. Please don't cry if you happen to disagree with my take on this mixtape. You know, it's just not really got too much for me. The fans will enjoy it though, I'm sure. Logic, Bobby Tarantino, mixtape forever.